Hello and welcome to People and Platforms. I'm Carlo-Marcel Dube, your host and an HR professional committed to exploring the critical conversations shaping workplaces and the people within them. Today we are diving into a topic that's highly relevant in Zimbabwe right now, the side hustle dilemma. Can your employer stop you from having a side hustle? And when does a side business cross the line into a conflict of interest? Let's unpack the realities together. To begin with, side hustles are not a trend. They're a necessity for many Zimbabweans. With an economy that's unpredictable and salaries often insufficient to meet rising costs, employees are looking for ways to supplement their income. From small retail ventures, farming projects, to professional consulting, side hustles are woven, in fact, into the economic fabric of our society. They are not inherently wrong, I have to say, or disloyal. They are often essential for survival and financial security. So, can your employer legally stop you from having a side hustle? The answer is quite nuanced. Zimbabwean labor law doesn't explicitly ban side hustles. However, several legal and practical factors have to come into play. For instance, your contract of employment. Many contracts contain clauses about exclusivity, loyalty, conflict of interest. If your contract states that you can't engage in other paid work without permission, explicit permission, ignoring that can become a disciplinary issue. Company policies also. Employers often have policies requiring disclosure of external business interests, especially if they might interfere with your work or compete with your employer. Fiduciary duty, which is more applicable to senior roles. There's an expectation of loyalty and protecting your employer's business interests. So running a business that competes directly or even indirectly can breach that duty. So while side hustles are not illegal in themselves, your employer has legitimate grounds to set reasonable limits where their business interests might be affected. But let's be clear about where problems usually arise. A side hustle crosses into risky territory when it competes with your employer. For instance, offering similar services privately to the same clients your employer serves, or instances where company resources are misused, like using office hours, office premises, computers, vehicles, or client lists for your personal business. Sometimes performance suffers. Even if your side hustle is unrelated, fatigue, distraction, or divided focus can lead to poor work performance, creating a valid concern for employers. It poses a reputational risk in some instances where your business is controversial or blatantly illegal or conflicts with your employer's brand values that can reflect negatively on the organization. These are genuine issues that employers in Zimbabwe are dealing with. As economic realities drive more people into side businesses, workplaces are increasingly encountering situations where undisclosed ventures create legal, operational, and ethical concerns. So, what's the way forward? For employees, you have to know your contract. Silence does not mean permission. Yeah. Disclose when it's necessary. Even if there's a potential conflict, it's safer to be transparent than to risk disciplinary action later. You have to keep your boundaries clear. Don't use company resources, time, or information for your own businesses. For employers, you have to update your policies. Be clear and specific about what's acceptable and what isn't. Blanket bans may be impractical, but clear boundaries will help, I think, to avoid confusion. We have to be realistic to recognize the economic context that employees are living in. Many side hustles may pose no threat and can coexist, in fact, peacefully with full-time employment. So we have to focus on performance. So as long as employees meet their targets and avoid conflict of interest, flexibility may be a wiser approach. Ultimately, side hustles are part of the Zimbabwean workforce reality. The challenge is in managing them in a way that protects business interests while respecting employees' economic realities and rights. So, side hustles are not simply about making extra money, they are a matter of resilience and survival in our context. But as with all things in HR, balance is key. It's about open communication, clear boundaries, mutual respect. between employers and employees. Thanks for joining me on People and Platforms. I'm Carlo-Marcel Dube. If you found this episode insightful, subscribe, share with your network, and let's keep these important conversations going. Until next time, take care and keep building workplaces that work for people and the platforms they thrive on. Cheers.